Welcome to camp, and we are fixing to blow them cowboys' minds today. The wow factor just went off the scale. I'm talking a big old 40-ounce Tomahawk Ribeye, dry aged, ready to go. Whew, better get there before they do, folks. Stick around. My name is Kent Rollins. I want to welcome you all to this channel. And what do we do on this channel? Outdoor cooking, grilling, Dutch oven cooking, baking, how to take care of cast iron. But what are we doing today, folks? Woo-wee! 40-ounce prime, dry-aged Tomahawk ribeyes. You heard me right. Where's it come from? It's just the ribeye, folks. Just been Frenched. The bone has coming off the rib all the way around, so it's a little more presentable. Now, this is prime, dry-aged meat. I want to thank National Beef for getting this to me. And look what we have here, the culinary meat inspector himself. Yes, it is prime big, and the good folks at La Frida Meats. Now, folks, they do quality. They be in this business for a long time, and they have some great products. Shan will have you a link below down there in the description to where you can go online and you can get this. But when we talk about prime beef, dry aged beef, when we're aging that beef, the longer it sets, the more flavor, the more tender it's going to be. Now when you're starting with prime, you've always heard me say, hey, we're going to put some lime juice on this deal to break down muscle connective tissue. Not on these big fellers we ain't, because they are prime dry aged. Now they got at least 60 days on them, so what does that do? The enzymes in there go to breaking down this stuff, and it gives it more flavor, more juiciness, more taste. Now, a lot of folks would have this, and they just throw this big feller out there on the grill, and they're going to burn him. Now, when you're cooking a meat that's of this size, folks, you either got to cook it over indirect heat, which the coals are not close to it, or remember what we do to keep that stuff tender? Steam it. So we're going to wrap it in some foil after we season it, place it on the grill. But the most important factor you got to remember in this whole process, let it warm up. So I'm allowing about a minute per ounce. That's 40 minutes it's setting out. That way I know it's going to be warmed up and ready to go. If you don't do this, you're going to get such an uneven cook on this rascal by throwing him on there. Remember what I've always said in them videos? What is two mistakes people often make? Overcook, under season. This is a great big honking piece of meat, 40 ounces. So we got to give everybody a share. So we're going to use our Red River Ranch Original because I'm cooking over good hardwood mesquite today, as we got a plenty of it down here. But first, let's get it seasoned up. So make sure you get it on the sides, bottom, top, everywhere. Rub it in really well. We're going to let it set about 4 minutes after that before we go directly to the grill. But make sure you get it coated well everywhere. Well, like I told you, we let it set with this seasoning on it, both sides everywhere, coated well. What's next? We got to wrap these fellers up. What am I telling you right here? This is the Christmas present every man wants. Just wrap it up in tinfoil, lay it under the tree. So, folks, let's get them over to that fire. Bertha didn't make the trip, but her little sister Christine did, and she'll do the job. So let's get these bad boys on the grill. We have cleaned the grill, wire brush, greased it a little. Now there's still some fire coming out of there, so I'm not going directly on it. I'm going to go on each side of it, and we're going to let these bad boys sit there for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to turn them on the other side and let it go another 5 minutes. So let's let it do its job. Hope you enjoy the scenery while we're waiting. Now folks, there's a lot of sizzling going on there, and it is plenty hot, so I'm going to rearrange just a little There's a lot of fire in there. It's what you're cooking with, what do you call it? Live fire. A lot of people will have disagreements and they'll fuss back and forth, what does that bone do? But I do think it conducts heat to a certain point, gives more flavor to me. A lot of chefs have told me, bone don't do that. Bone is for eye appeal only. Hey, I'm like the beagle. That bone brings me more flavor and I get to gnaw on it when we're through. Now, the reason we wrap these in foil, y'all know, so we can slow them down. But also, what does that help us do? It's getting a more uniform temperature throughout the steak. Now, when we take them out of that foil, it's going to be closer to where we are already at maybe a really rare. We're going to give it good color. It's going to get that caramelization because all that flavor has sit right up there on top and come to the surface. But it helps it slow down the cooking to where we're not leaving it on the grill quite so long over an open flame unprotected. But it's been about 5 minutes, so let's flip them bad boys over. You can see we getting a little char here on that bone and warming things up, so we are where we're supposed to be. We'll go about 5 on that side, take them out of that foil, finish them up, and then we will enjoy the goodness. This is hotter than the 4th of July in a red ant bed. I mean, it is hot. It will burn you when that steam comes out of there, so you be careful. Now, ooh. So folks, you can see that good color we're getting, so let's slow that down a little. That's what I was after, that good instant sear of heat. So we're gonna move them over here to the cooler side of the grill. What do we got here? It is a radar for alien spacecraft machines. Yes, let you know if somebody's trying to get here and get your meat before it's done. Really, it's a temperature probe. Folks, I don't believe in these. It's like I told you before, if you puncture a piece of meat, you're letting something out of it. So only time I ever use one is when I'm cooking chicken. Now, I'm going to try to take these off there when they're rare to medium rare, because that's how they're supposed to be eaten. Now, in other videos we have done, and Shan might have you a link down there or right up there, one to where it'll show you this method again about the touch and how that's supposed to feel, whether it be rare, or medium. But if you think you just got to have one, because this is some high price meat, you get you one, okay? See this sweating and this blood that's coming out right here and taking effect, and you can see a little pulling. Now, I know there's some good color there and it's time to go. I'm after that crust. That's what I want that good texture. So when we get to that point, let's give him a good flipping over, put him right back out here on that side of the fire. Now, you folks that's got to use a thermometer, I have seen a lot of folks, they would stick it in right here at the time, turn it on, and watch it till that reaches that temperature and then pull it off. It's done. I'm going to go by the method I've always used, and that is them fingers and touch. So folks, remember these was big old 40 ounces, so we're going to have to let them rest for a while. But one thing you got to know is that's still cooking in there just because we got them off the fire. Now, to ensure that process that it stays warm and let it rest enough, we're going to temp these big rascals for about 4 to 5 minutes. Then we'll cut them, and ooh, the goodness will take place. It's been about 5 minutes. Let's take that little pin off. Always comes a point to where I get a little nervous still when I cut one of them, but see this good knife goes, honking big knife goes with honking big steak. Know what I mean? And I would like to thank Victor and Arthur, 2 of my fans down there in Brazil, for sending me this. Whew, got my name on it. Thank you so much, fellas. Let's see, will it cut a piece of beef? Now, if you want to serve this maybe family style, I'd cut right along that bone. And then we just take that little rascal and go to chunking him up here. Then you just take it and come right back through here. That's what I'm talking about, folks. Now, that bite there has my name on it. Now, folks, I've cooked a lot of beef, and I have cooked select, I have cooked choice. I've even cooked some roadkill on occasion. But what I'm telling you folks is when you get a piece of prime that is aged and dried this way, You can taste it the minute it hits your mouth. That's what that aging process does. It gives such a unique flavor to meat. The seasoning enhances the flavor. It doesn't mask it. Fine dining at its best. Melt in your mouth. It is so good and tender. I don't know how to describe that flavor to you, but it's a little bit sweet, a little bit maybe a little earthy, but whew, man, it is so good, so tender. I want to thank the good folks again at National and Pat LaFrida and LaFrida Meats. Hey, thank y'all so much. This is great steak. Shan will have a link right there below to where you can go to their website and you can order meat. They'll ship it right to your door. Just make sure you know how to cook it as we recap this deal. Let it come to room temperature. Let it set till you know it's warm. It's going to help that cooking process throughout. Make sure that you wrap that rascal in foil and you set it out there and you let it steam in there about 5 minutes each side. Then pull it out of there and finish it. Go by that touch like we always have, but if you think you just got to have one of them thermometers, hey, stick it over there when you turn it back on that side. Get to that correct temperature you want, then you're good to go. I thank you for stopping by one of my most favorite places in the world. Ranch down here south of Hollis, Oklahoma. It is good country. That old Red River sitting out there has made a lot of memories for me. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Be sure and hit that subscribe button, but also remember you can subscribe to our newsletter there in the little link below. God bless you each and every one. Pass the biscuits and let's have more beef. See y'all down the trail. Crispy bacon cheesy steak fry. Cheesy bacon cheesy steak fry.
Are you guys just like faking for TV?
No. All right. I can't even remember the words. Crispy.
You've had like 5 spoonfuls. Is this not a good cobbler?
It's pretty good. You people.
Hey, my name is Rollins.
Y'all giving you different. He's right on the he just moved now.
Stick around.
You know, people always comment, you're out of paper towel. Well, we're out again, Shan.
Do people really say that?
Yes, they do.
Can you pop it up in your mouth?
Wait for it. I mean, it is good, but you have to wait. Man, that looks good. I go, look, you didn't wait. And it says pinch me.
Ow.
Right? Let's call an audible here in the huddle into.
A what?
Audible. That's
What's an audible? That's, yeah, better odds. You know, what are you doing? It's not whiskey, it's vanilla.
Come on.
You don't have a line!
Stick around. Grilled. What is it?
It's grilled Mexican corn.
Really? Oh, it's got lights on it. How about some mascara too? Frank, quiet on the set.
Frank, calm down.
Calm down. You're too excited.
Oh gosh, it's flashing.
It's like Christmas.
Unplug it and then plug it back in. To get that perfect doneness that you're looking for, stick around.
You said that so easy. Why don't you do it?
I know.
Huh?
I'm not Kent Rollins.